tell me what is a nested iteration?
A loop inside a loop.
And why do we do that? Any example?
Ma'am, for example, to find like pairs of students who have scored the same amount of marks.
Okay, pair of students. Okay, so this pair word is important, and this tells you that suppose there are these many students, then there is a need to compare every student with everyone, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what is the approach that we do to find, suppose if I say to find the pair of students who were born on the same month or say same date of birth, then what are you supposed to do?
The outer iteration picks out one student, the inner iteration picks out another, and then we compare those two.
That is something of this kind, right? This one will be fixed and you keep comparing one by one. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So what about an alternate approach? See, this in this case, we need, suppose we have n number of students. Okay, then how many comparisons do we need to make? We have to compare each one with the remaining rest, right?
N minus
So
one.
n
by
students
two.
are compared with n minus 1 students, and there is a possibility of repetition also if we do not keep track like which students are in common. So that will create repetitions also, and if you want to avoid that, then this will be by 2. Correct?
Ma'am, I didn't get this 2 point.
2 point.
Why
Okay.
divided by 2?
Okay. See, in this case, when you fix a student and you want to compare the student with the other rest n minus 1 students,
Yes, ma'am.
correct? And this is 1. So say in the case like this student 1 is compared with student 1, and in the next iteration when you discard this and you fix this student, then are you again comparing this with the student? Are you following the logic?
Can you repeat the question, please?
I'm saying that in the case to find the pair of students who have the same date of birth, I'm saying that the maximum number of comparisons would be n into n minus 1 by 2.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So someone has doubt in this, right? Why it is divided by 2. So I'm trying to explain that.
Okay.
Now have you understood the one who said that why 2?
Yes, ma'am.
Got it, right? We are moving, actually when you find a match, we are moving that card X to another table, right? This kind of statement we use, right? To move the first person. So this is not a part of this table anymore. So when you pick out the second student and fix this, then you start comparing from the third person onwards. You do not encounter the first and the second, that is itself. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
So this was the approach with nested iteration. Now we'll try to see another alternate approach which can do in linear time. So we'll discuss about a new data structure, that is dictionary. So can anyone tell me how do we define an empty dictionary?
Ma'am, with curly brackets.
2 curly brackets.
So curly brackets. And what do we write in these? We have something known as keys and the corresponding value against it. Correct? So what is this key?
Unique.
This is unique, something kind of identity, that unique ID kind of thing.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
these are the values that are stored against the key. So now if I tell you the same question, like find the pair of students who were born on the same date of birth. So how are you going to solve this problem using a dictionary? Say I have a list of students A, B, C, and D. So I'm going to create something like this for January and I'll maintain a list. You know what is a list?
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
It can contain so many data items together and they may not be homogeneous also. Okay, so this is a list. So this is February and the list of students who were born in that, March, and so on.
I'm
So
sorry to interrupt,
yes,
but I
yeah,
think
yeah.
the dictionary was solved. Sir had already taught dictionary like please.
In the last session, I think list was covered and dictionary was not done, I think.
Ma'am,
What
dictionary was also done.
I think dictionary
the
is
last?
also done because it was another session.
No, are you talking about the Saturdays, previous Saturday session or the weekday session?
Yesterday, I think.
No. This has to be covered today. I'm talking about the sessions that were held on Saturday. This is an
Yes,
extra
ma'am.
session. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So if
Please.
anyone has any difficulty, you can this is a follow-up or just like a follow-up session so that those who haven't followed during the weekdays can catch up this. I'll be taking up doubts also. If you have any doubt or any difficulty in any of the activity or practice questions, we can discuss in the next hour. Okay, from 5 to 6, we can do that. Okay. So this is how we are going to create a dictionary. That is, this will represent the month and this value side will contain a list with the names of the students. So in this type of solution, how many times do we have to access the data set? Anyone?
10 times.
In case.
See, in this case, we had, yeah, it is exactly n time. That is just one time we have to access the data set. One time. And if you tell in the terms of number of students, then it is going to be n. That is the size of the data set. In just one traversal, we can find out the pair of students. Any doubt till here?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So now can you tell me how do I create a dictionary? Suppose I have a list of students here. So how, and an empty dictionary date. So now I want to store the physics, chemistry, and mathematics marks of the students in a list. How do I do that? Is this valid, whatever I'm writing? So can you tell me what I'm doing in statement 1 to 4?
Trying to find
Ma'am,
out the value that corresponds to this key.
Ma'am, we are trying to assign the value of physics to the list of the marks of each student.
Exactly. As of now, I have just created 3 key values for the dictionary date. Okay, then I need to iterate through a loop so that I can access each student's record and I can append those marks into this list. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay. Then there are certain functions that we use. So what does this return? Is key of some dictionary variable. What does this return?
Ma'am, it checks whether the given element is there in the dictionary or not.
And
To check
returns
whether
true
the
false.
key is present.
So first, what do we write first? We write the name, right? Name of
Yeah.
the key. And then the dictionary variable.
Yes.
Then this is going to return true if a key with that name, key name exists. And false if it does not exist.
Yes.
Correct? Okay. So suppose I have a key, chemistry, and I want to insert single value 50 to it. How do I do that? Suppose my dictionary is dict, then how am I supposed to do?
Mem dict chemistry equals 50.
Correct. Okay, so we are done with basics. We'll go through the slides now a bit. Just open that. So what is the difference between list and dictionary?
Dictionary stores key and value, where list stores only value. Dictionary is-
Memo list stores a value in by default of 1 to in integer corresponding, whereas that from in a dictionary we can assign a key value to a pair value and then call the key value to access the pair value.
Dictionary gives
Lists are ordered and dictionary is not ordered.
What do you mean by that? It is ordered and non-ordered?
From
In dictionary,
1
order
to
does not matter.
That is, if I tell you return me the keys, then it can return in any order, or it must stick to alphabetical order, or the way in which you have created the dictionary. I mean, the ways the keys were inserted into the dictionary.
It can give in any order.
In any order, right?
Yeah.
And in case of list, you're going to get in the same order as you have done while creating the list.
And dictionary has random access.
And how do you access that?
Means it will do not iterate through every element.
Through the key values. You
Key
can
value.
directly
Yes,
access
ma'am.
it through the key values. Please confirm if you can see this window.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Pseudo code.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So as we have discussed, a list keeps a sequence of values, but it cannot have random access. Whereas a dictionary, it stores in key value pair, and the chemistry mark value for each student will be, I mean, if chemistry is the key, then the marks you can store in a list, and like that is, and the source station will be a value of a train route key. That is, you're able to have random access only because of the variable key. So this is how we extract the values that are present against the key. That is, M is a variable in which I'm storing the chemistry marks that are scored by Rahul. So can anyone tell me what is Rahul here? Is it a key or value?
Ma'am, it's
Key.
a key.
Now
Key.
it is a key. It's a key.
It's the key here.
So something we'll be having like this in the dictionary,
Yes, ma'am.
and this value we are assigning to M.
Ma'am,
Yes.
no doubt. Ma'am, key cannot be list, but values can be.
Yes. Key is a single term that you're supposed to give. Okay. And value can be a nested list or a list. Okay. When nested lists are also allowed, or you can have a nested dictionary as well.
Okay.
Okay. For example, if we are asked to collect the chemistry marks in a dictionary, so we are collecting the chemistry marks of student in a dictionary. So, chemistry marks is an empty dictionary in this data set. So while table 1 has more rows, we'll be reading the first row and the name and marks. These are the variables where this is stored. And chemistry marks is the dictionary name, and name is the X name, that is the student's name, and the marks. So can anyone tell me what will be the structure?
Ma'am, the
Maybe name
structure will
column.
be the name of the student assigned with the marks of the student, with the name of the student being the key and the marks of the student being the
Ma'am,
value.
Something
Not
of this
equal.
sort?
No, no. No, column will be there.
Ma'am, there will be a column.
Colon in between the marks and
Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So how do we iterate through a dictionary? An iteration variable and through the keys. This is a function which is going to return the different key values. So if I have something like this, say this contains a list of something. So what is this going to return to me? Keys.
Ma'am, here for each iteration, K will have either the value of the list containing fruits, either the value of the lists containing animals, or the value of the list containing vegetables.
No, this is going to return me what? This is going to
guess
return
keys.
me either fruit or animal or veggies at a time.
Yes,
This is
ma'am.
not going to return me the list. This is going to point out the keys only. And once
Okay,
I
ma'am.
have the keys, then I can do something from those keys. Like this, something is done with this. But as of now, keys will return only the name of the keys. Fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So now if we want to count the total marks or the average marks of a student of chemistry, then how are we supposed to do it? In the previous slide, we have stored the chemistry marks in a dictionary. So now for each student, this is going to return for each student, right? Now count is a variable that is initialized to 0, total and count. So when you have your first student, then you're going to do it 0 plus the marks of that student stored in this key, that is the first student, K, correct? And as soon as you come inside, you're incrementing the loop by 1. So after the execution, count is going to reflect the number of keys. And what does this indicate?
number of students.
Number of students. And the total marks that all the students have secured in chemistry divided by the total count of students is going to give you the average marks secured in chemistry. Okay, this function is K, we have discussed this. So returns true if K is a key in D, that is first the dictionary and then the key value. This is how we write, right? First is the name of the dictionary followed by the key value. So this is how the procedure is key is implemented. So first, we declare a variable found that is declared to be false. Then for each key in keys of dictionary D, if key is equal to K. So what is K here? The input, I mean the element for which you want to check whether it exists as a key or not. So since this is unordered, you have to check for all the keys. So once you find that they are equal, you are going to change the value of found to true and exit the loop. Why exit loop is given here?
And to break the
Because
loop.
we need not go further on.
We need not
Completely.
go
to
further.
prevent
Exactly.
the list from going further after we have found the
Correct.
value.
Exactly. And then you return the value of found. So what will found be? Either true or false?
Yes, ma'am.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So true indicates that that key will be a member of the dictionary, and false indicates that it is still not a member of the dictionary.
Dictionary.
Oh, this is done. Okay, we are done with the basics. So now if you have any doubts regarding any practice question or activity questions, we can take up that. Or anything you want to ask or discuss. This was the basic recapitulation of the week's content.
When there used to be notes for like week 1, week 2, something.
Could you just
But
show
now-
the PPT once?
But now
Or could you
it
share the
doesn't-
PPT?
But this is there in
I have a
the
doubt in
supplementary
graded
contents.
assignment.
You can find the slides in the supplementary contents. Okay.
Ma'am, graded assignment question number 5.
Is the deadline over for the graded assignment?
Graded assignment 7.
Yeah, what is the deadline?
2nd of August, I think.
Ma'am, graded assignment 6.
6. Okay, we can take up 6. And what is the deadline for that? If the deadline is not over, then
26.
I cannot.
Yes, ma'am, it's over.
For 6 years over.
Oh, six
Okay,
over.
then we can take up that. Which question you have doubt?
Ma'am, question number 5th.
Okay, please keep the question in front of you. Okay, you can analyze it together. Question number 5. Stations question, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Station is a list that contains the sequence of stations visited by the train from the train's dataset. Each element in stations is a list. Okay, the name and the distance. The first entry is the name of the station. And what? Okay. Each element in stations is a list. Okay, let me open the Jamboard. So stations is a list, right? Is a list that contains sequence of stations visited by the train by a train from train's dataset. Each element is a list, that is name and distance. So this is a nested list, if I'm not wrong,
Yes, ma'am.
correct? So each one has name and distance. The first entry is the name of the station, while the second entry is the distance of this station from the first station in the list. Okay. Here's the name of the station. So if I visit station A and B, so this distance is going to store the distance of what? From a station, starting station, or only the stations, that means the consecutive stations?
Starting stations.
From the first station in the list, that is if the train has its source as station A and destination as station Z, then the distance will be 0 for A. For B, it will be something in between, like is it correct now?
Yes, ma'am.
A to A is 0, A to B, suppose if this is X, then this will be X here. And if we have something like C, then this could be, if this is Y, then this is going to be X plus Y. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then MDist is a procedure that accepts stations as a parameter and returns the names of pairs of consecutive stations which have shortest distance between them on this route. So this is a procedure that accepts stations as stations. That means it accepts a list as a parameter and returns the name of a pair of consecutive stations. Means one by one they should occur, which have shortest distance between them on this route. Okay. So procedure and distance as stations as parameter. Pair is equal to none and none. One is for name and okay, pair. So minimum variable is initialized. Are you getting why this minimum is initialized to 10,000?
Yes, ma'am.
Minimum value has to be like initialized with something large so that whenever you get the first element smaller than this, you're going to store that. And previous is equal to first of stations for each X in rest of stations. Difference is equal to last of X minus last of previous X. Okay. There may be multiple pairs which have the same minimum distance. If we wish to find a pair of stations closest to the first station in the list, which of the following is correct? Yes, according to you, what should be the answer? Yes, any difficulty? What's your problem?
Which question, ma'am?
Ma'am, ma'am, why option A is correct?
Yes.
Ma'am, why not B is correct?
So, have you understood the procedure?
Yes, ma'am.
What it is trying to do?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, it is trying to remove the first and last.
So, first and last, what are you going to get? First, see, first, previous is a variable that is trying to collect the first of stations. So, what is previous going to store? Previous is going to store only this one, right?
Yes, ma'am.
This is equal to, that is name. Suppose this is A and the distance is 0, suppose.
Yes, ma'am.
So for each X in rest of stations, that is the rest.
Yes, ma'am.
From here to here, we are
Hmm.
running a loop. And then what it is doing? Difference is equal to last of X. So what is last of X? X is what, first of all? X is again this, like?
Yes, ma'am.
Last of X is what? The distance?
Distance.
Okay, so this is B's distance minus last of previous. So what is last of previous? 0.
Distance of first station.
This is previous, right? This variable is previous.
Yes, ma'am.
Correct? So
Yes, ma'am.
this is the loop. For this much is the loop. And in the first iteration of the loop, this is going to be your x. I mean the loop variable x.
Yes, ma'am.
And last of x will give you only this distance.
Yes, ma'am. Only distance.
So this is the meaning of that diff. Following? So now you're supposed to do what? You're supposed to store the pair in which you have the minimum distance. So how are you going to calculate the minimum distance?
By storing the difference in minimum variable.
Minimum variable, that means, see, first of all, minimum is storing a very large value.
Yes, ma'am.
So as soon as you come across a value which is practically smaller than the large value, so minimum will be updated with that value.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now you have to check that whether the difference is less than the pair that is last. See, here you are given that the name of pair of consecutive stations. Okay. So you have to select between two stations which are consecutive. You don't have to check like for the entire data set. Just check consecutive stations. Are you getting it? So once I come across this difference, so for example, say this is 5, this is 7, I mean this is a comma 0 in 1, b comma 5 in 1, c comma 7, and d comma 10. Okay, so for this example, first of all, your difference will be what? Difference will be 5.
Yes, ma'am.
And in the second, yes. And what are you storing in here? First is the updation of minimum. First you're checking the condition, that is if difference is less than the minimum.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
in the second line, what you're doing, you're updating the minimum variable. And in the third one, what you're doing, you're storing first of that means first or last of previous. That is actually the question, right? The difference between, I mean, the confusion is between option number 1 and 3.
Yes, ma'am.
Correct?
1 and 2.
1 and 2. Okay. So less than, and this is less than equal to. So now have you understood like why pair is storing the first part?
Yes, ma'am.
Because it has to store the names, right? So
Yes.
this one you will be getting in the first part. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now in second, what we're doing, if difference is less than or equal to minimum. There may be multiple pairs with the same minimum distance. If we wish to find a pair of stations closest to the first station. So are you reading this part? See, the question 5 says there may be multiple pairs having the same minimum distance. Are you with me?
Yes, ma'am.
And what does the second sentence read? If we wish to find a pair of stations closest to the first station. So let's take example. Suppose here I have E of 12. So now tell me, according to you, what should be the pair of stations? Let me write it clearly otherwise. C of 7. This is D of 10. This is E of 12.
It may be second and fourth.
The pair was first. It has to be B comma C. First pair.
Yes, ma'am.
Because the difference here is 5. Here it is 2. That is minimum from this is 2.
Yes, ma'am.
Here it is 3. So that will not be updated. And here it is again 2. But which is closer to the station? D comma E is closer or B comma C is closer to A? Because you are given in the second part of the question.
C is closer.
Closer. So have you now understood why option A is the correct answer?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Got it.
Ma'am, can you explain question number 6? It is also similar with that, but
1 minute.
But could you explain the code, ma'am?
Which part? Procedure or the options? Which code are you talking? Procedure or the options?
Will it be possible to explain both, ma'am?
Okay. So please have that procedure with you. Actually, I used to get here the Jam board where I used to copy the code as well, but I'm not able to do that today. So just open that in front of you. Okay, maybe you can
Yes.
minimize that and minimize this whiteboard itself. Okay. So what first this does, procedure mlist, this will mlist will actually accept a list. Stations is what? It is a nested list. So suppose this is the stations. Okay, for example. So the procedure will accept this as a parameter, stations,
Yes, ma'am.
correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes.
the first statement is that definition and parameter passing. So the second is pair is a variable which is a list that contains only two elements.
Yes, ma'am.
This is supposed to contain only two elements. And as of now, this is empty. So in the third one, we are like this is the minimum variable and difference is to store the difference between the last two stations. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So what is previous storing?
The first value.
The first station. So this is the second statement. Third is minimum is equal to 10,000 and difference is equal to 0. Something like this.
Yes, ma'am.
So what will you get here?
The very first A, 0.
Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then for each X in rest of stations, what is rest of stations giving you?
Everything except A, 0.
The entire part.
Yes, ma'am.
So if I say in the first iteration, what will be your X? This
B,
is ordered.
yes,
B,
ma'am.
5 because list is ordered, so we'll be getting the first one here.
Yes, ma'am.
And then the sixth statement, what it does? Difference is equal to last of X minus last of previous.
Yes, ma'am.
So tell me what is here. This is previous. So what is last of X?
B, 5.
B, 5 is X. What is last of X?
5.
5. Last of previous? 0.
0. Okay, okay.
So difference is 0. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And then you are asked to fill up the code.
Yes, ma'am. Could you just explain the correct answer?
Okay. So you are asked to store those pairs of stations which have minimum distance. So
Yes.
definitely you have to check with the minimum variable that whether this difference is minimum or not. So give here a checking condition that if difference is less than minimum, then what you have to do, you have to update the minimum variable.
Yes, ma'am.
Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And then what you are supposed to do, previous will actually store the list. You have to store in that pair the stations which have the minimum distance. So as of now, we have traversed or seen only this part. That is one we have stored and one we are iterating through. So as of now, A and B will be stored here.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Correct? And then
Yes.
you have previous is equal to X. That means you have to check for each pair because this is asking for consecutive, right? So this is how you're supposed to traverse. Like once you come, first you have given this as your previous. But as you complete this part,
Now
You
the
have to-
previous will be, ma'am, now the previous will
will
be
be updated
become
to
after.
X. Will be updated to X. That means you're moving something like this.
Ma'am, just one doubt. Like
Hmm.
I understood till minimum is equal. After that, could you explain the third statement? The first previous comma first of X.
1 minute, just 1 minute. Yes, you are not able to understand this pair statement.
Yes, and the third statement in the options.
That means this one, right?
Yes, ma'am.
This is previous as of now. What is pair trying to collect? This is trying to collect the pair of stations which are actually having minimum distance, that is station X and Y, which have minimum distance.
Yes, ma'am.
So this will be the names of the stations. So how will you obtain the name of the stations? This is previous, and the first part will give you the name of the station, right? This part is the distance, whereas this is the name part. Got it?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Fine now?
Ma'am, why can't the conditions have equal to?
This one you're asking why it
Yes,
is.
ma'am.
Okay, read the second part of the statement. What the question it says? If we wish to find a pair of stations closest to the first station in the list.
Okay.
Okay, so for example, see, distance between A to B is 5,
Yes.
B to C is 2,
2.
C to D is 3, and D to E is again 2. So D comma E and B comma C both can be the answer. But as per the second part, which are closer to the nearest station, that is first station A.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so if you change it to less than equal to, then it will happen that this pair will be deleted and this would be the answer. That is the last pair that you find that have equal. Means you're traversing the list of stations, right?
Yes, ma'am.
If you change it to less than equal to, then the last one in the list which have the minimum distance will be shown. But as per your question, you want the first one that matches so that they are closer to the starting station.
Okay, ma'am.
Clear?
Ma'am is clear actually, so we can go forward.
Yes, I'm clear.
Ma'am, I had doubt, ma'am. In practice assignment week 7.
Just 1 minute. Someone had doubt in question 6 as well, right?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, but now it's clear.
So what is this saying? Okay, the reverse part, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now, and the other one, which assignment 7 or question 7?
Assignment week 7.
Assignment 6 itself?
Papa.
Hello? Your voice is breaking.
Question number 3 of this assignment 6. Graded assignment 6.
Question number 3. Okay. We have a non-empty list called author list that stores the name of all authors in the library table sorted in alphabetical order of the author names. What is this doing? Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
In alphabetical order, okay. There is one element corresponding to each author in the table. That means what? All the author names are unique.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that means two authors do not share the same name. This results, oh sorry, there is one element corresponding to each book. Okay, sorry. There is one element corresponding to each book in the table. That means for each book, there is a column. So there is a possibility that you may have many duplicates. So let us see that if a book name XYZ is written by author A, book PQR is written by author B, and STR is another book which is written by author A. Are you getting the meaning now? Please correct me if I'm going wrong or if you're not able to follow anything.
Ma'am, which question is this?
Question number 3.
Of
Graded assignment 6.
Ma'am, the list is in alphabetical order.
Okay, so this will be A, and B, right?
Yes.
So have you understood this, that there can be duplicates as well? The following procedure attempts to extract. I'll be just back in a minute. Just 1 minute. Just give me a minute. Yeah, sorry, I'm back. So till this it was clear. So now the next statement is the following procedure attempts to extract the unique list of authors while preserving the sorted order. The procedure may have mistakes. Okay, we're supposed to correct the mistakes. So now what are we trying to do? We are just trying to collect the sorted order without having duplicates.
Yes, ma'am.
Correct. So the pseudocode may have errors, so we'll try to figure that out. So first one, what we are doing is we are initializing a new variable, that is unique list. And this is empty initially. And then previous, that is equal to null. Oh, sorry, null. So now this is null. So unique list is equal to unique list plus the first author of the list. Okay, the second statement is a safe statement, right? Because the first author you can obviously add. You need to check the duplicates from the second onwards. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So the second statement, can there be an error in the second statement? Okay, we'll try to figure this out later on. So first one, I can definitely add. As per the logic, it says that the first one you can add. So here I can add the first one, that is A. I do not know what else are going to come here, but as of now, I can add this A.
Yes, ma'am.
Correct? Okay. So what is the third statement telling? Previous is equal to first. Previous is a first author from the author list. So what is previous storing? A.
Storing A.
A itself. So next, for each X in the rest of author list. So for each X from this part now.
Yes, ma'am.
So now for the first part, X will be again A. This A I'm talking about. If X is equal to previous, are you all following the fifth line?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, in line 2, how it could be unique list plus first author list. If we are starting the procedure right now.
We are starting the procedure. See, later on, after going through the entire code, we'll try to figure out the error. But as of now, let us analyze what this code is trying to do. And if we do not reach our goal, then we'll figure out what is the mistake. Okay. See, as of now, statement 2 is a safe statement. As of now, like I have come across statement 5, and till now this is safe, right? What it is trying to do? It is just adding the first element. See, the first element won't have any duplicate. None. It will be as it is. You have to check for duplicates from the second onwards.
Okay, ma'am.
Correct. Correct. So as of now, it is a safe statement. So statement 5 says that if x is equal to previous, that is, it checks whether x is equal to previous or not. So x is equal to previous, it is true here.
Actually, ma'am, x equal to or x equal to?
Equal equals to 2, but x is equal here, right? In the question, it is equal equals to 2, but as of now in this iteration statement, the first x will be equal to this a. Correct?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
the outcome is true, so we have to go inside the loop. What it says, unique list is equal to unique list plus x. So what this is doing, this is again adding x to the list. So this is something that we are not desiring. What this is doing, the sixth statement, it is again updating the list like this, and this is something which we do not want. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So line number 6 is definitely wrong as per the logic as of now. So, and what we are doing, we are updating the previous with x. So now previous was a initially. Now whatever we have come across in x, we are updating that. So have you understood that the procedure has something wrong in it? That is, this statement, whatever it is trying to do, this is not leading us to the desired result. The simplest would have been if we could change line number 5 to not equals to. If this is not equals to a, if x is not equals to a, then we can update our unique list.
Yes, ma'am. If we can say x is not equal to 2, then the sixth line is correct, no?
Yes.
Okay, ma'am, I got it.
And then why line 2 is incorrect?
Line 2 is incorrect because of the syntax. Syntax error. What this is doing is first of author list, right?
Yes.
So
ma'am.
whenever you append an item to the end of the list, you have to actually keep it in the form of list. You cannot add, and suppose you have an element, a list here, you cannot element an element 5 to it. You have to make this a list.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Got it? This is
Yes,
syntax error.
Okay, ma'am.
Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
I got it.
Yes. Any other doubt?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, in the same question or different?
Ma'am, these 7 practice assignment 1 and 2.
Week 7.
Yes, ma'am. Practice assignment question number 1 and 2.
Give me a couple of seconds to just open up that. Week 7 practice assignment. Which question number?
Question number 1, 2.
Okay, we'll try to solve 1 first, then we'll move to 2. Okay, the following procedure is executed on the scores data set. What will be represented at
Ma'am,
the end
can
of the
you
execution?
visual your screen, ma'am? Question name, previous question show, ma'am, on your screen.
Used to work fine with the last Jamboard. Okay. Screen and question are not visible together. That's the problem. We'll try a different way. The paste the question. Just give me a few seconds. There is any alternative way to show that together. Let's try the PPT. Is the PPT visible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you able to see the code properly?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what will be represent at the end of the execution? Okay. So D is what? It is an empty list. For the empty dictionary. Fine.
Yes.
Okay. So while table 1 has more rows, this means you're iterating through the scores data set. So read the first row X. These lines must be clear definitely. So what is the fourth line trying to do? Here D is the dictionary. And X dot city town is what? The list of cities from the scores data set. Clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
X dot city town are the names of the cities. Okay, if is key of dictionary. First, the D is empty, dictionary D is empty. So here, what are you going to get? You're going to get false, right? In the first iteration.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is false. So if this is okay, if this would have been true, then what you would have done? You would have checked the physics marks of the student. Sorry, physics marks of X. Yeah, of the student. X is what? X is the student. If physics marks of the student is greater than D of this, means what? It is a key. That means, are you understanding now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is checking if the city name of a student is actually a key, a member of the dictionary or not, key member. Okay. So if this is not, then what this is doing in that key, this is updating the value of the physics marks. Say, for example, the first student is from Aeronautics and the marks he has scored is 57. So this is doing, what this is doing, is this clear, the else part?
Yes, ma'am.
This is storing the physics marks of the student corresponding to the city or town he belongs to.
Ma'am, for this, ma'am, there is another, ma'am, nested dictionary, ma'am, or not? Because it is so specific mark of physics.
Here, though, we do not have dictionary as I see. This is just storing a single mark for only the else part now. Okay, because the first one, this is going to return false, right? For the first iteration, this is going to return me false. So I have come to the else part.
Ma'am, here is my doubt. How to know 57 is the mark of physics, ma'am?
No, this is an example I'm telling that how this gets updated. Okay, suppose the first student is from Aeronautics. His name is something is roll number 0. His name is suppose Ram. He's X dot city is Aeronautics. Physics marks is 57. Chemistry marks is 90. Mathematics marks is 65. Okay, for example, if this is X, that is the first row. Okay, then this is supposed to be your key. Are you getting it?
Yes, ma'am.
And the first mark, for the first iteration, the dictionary D is empty, so this will not have any keys into it.
Okay.
So the first one I have to insert in the else part.
Yes.
Okay. In the else, creating a key and assigning the first value to it. Okay, clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now,
Well, so anyways, the physics mark will be stored in the
corresponding to the city or town the students belongs to. Okay. Now come to the if part. If this has some value, if it is already a if it is already a key, that means suppose now I have some values here, arbitrary values here. Okay. Some arbitrary values I have initialized it. Okay. Are you all getting?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
I'm trying to explain the different scenarios. Okay. This is suppose 10, that is 60, 50. So what this is doing, the second part, where is the eraser? Okay, if is a key, that means if suppose these are the keys, suppose let's say for example Chennai. Okay. For example, now X is the row in which you have the city name as Chennai. So if physics X dot physics, the marks of the student, the physics marks of the student who is from Chennai is greater than the marks which is already stored in Chennai. Means if the marks of the student is 75, then what are you doing? You are updating the physics marks of the student.
Yes, ma'am.
Correct. So what this in a loop does, this will actually store the maximum marks that are scored by a student from a different city.
Yes.
Are you all getting it?
Yes.
So for the entry erode, can you tell me what will be the value that will be stored? 66.
66.
So this part is clear.
Yes.
The first part.
Yes, ma'am.
This will be storing the city names as key, and the value will be the maximum physics marks scored by this student who is from that city. Clear now? Now
Yes,
tell me if this
Yes,
case
ma'am.
is also possible. This is also possible, right? Two students having the same marks is also possible. Same highest marks.
Yes, ma'am.
So
No.
with this analogy, yeah.
No, ma'am.
No, it's possible, right? Two students can have same physics marks also.
Yeah.
It's possible, right? We haven't been told in the question anything. So we can assume that there are students who can have the same marks also. So now coming to the
What
second
does
part.
D
Okay.
represent?
Which one?
D.
D is the dictionary that we have. D is the dictionary. Okay, this is D. It was initially empty. But this one, what it does, it actually fills up. Understood?
Ma'am, I have doubt, ma'am.
In the first part or the second part?
Ma'am, first part, if ma'am same mark you score, ma'am, but line number 5 say if physics mark greater than then they score, ma'am.
The marks will not be updated because see here too we are not storing the name or something. No? We are just keeping track of the mark. So if these are 70, then no need to update it. If it is same, just ignore.
Okay, ma'am.
All right.
Yes.
So here, if you're confusing that, let me change here to 70. Okay, so now A is another variable and B is a list. Okay. So with the declaration, can you eliminate any option?
Yes.
Anyone? The option A and B can be easily eliminated, right? Because
Yes.
B is already a list. So you cannot have a single number here. B is anyhow, it is going to be a list. Now we are left to check with option C and D. So let's analyze this code for each key in keys of dictionary. That means we are going to iterate through erode, Chennai. I mean this part we are going to iterate now. Okay.
Yes.
if D of key is equal to A. That means if this part, the value is equal to A. Initially A is 0.
Yes.
Correct? So this will fail. You will come to this part. You will check this. You will not go through the statement. So if D of key is greater than A. So check 70 is greater than A.
Yes.
So
Yes,
A
ma'am.
will be what? A will be 70.
Okay.
A will be 70 and B is equal to key. That means B is equal to what? Erode.
Okay.
Okay. A is 70 and B contains erode now. So we'll go back again and this time we are finding Chennai.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
Chennai is 75. Okay, is it equal to key? Equal to A? A is 70 and Chennai is 75. It is not equal.
Yes,
No.
ma'am. It's not equal.
So come to the second part. Second part, what it says? If D of key, that is 75, right? Chennai, value of Chennai greater than A, true? Correct? 75 is greater than 70.
Yeah.
So what we are doing? We are updating A by 75.
Yes.
And B is what? We are erasing this and again we are initializing this with Chennai. Now interestingly, if Delhi has 75, then let's see what this is doing.
We will change
Say,
A.
if D of key is equal to A, what is this? If value of Delhi is 75, A is also 75. So now
Yes.
we are adding the key element to the list B. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is how this proceeds. So now what you're gaining in here? The first part gave you the maximum marks, highest marks that are stored in corresponding to a city. And
Yes.
here you are finding the pair of cities which have the same marks or the same values. So what is this giving you? The same highest values, right?
Yeah.
Highest from here and same values from here. So what should be the correct answer?
List of cities from which students have scored the highest.
Highest physics marks. Understood now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Any other doubts?
Ma'am, question number second.
The following pseudocode is executed using the shopping bills data set. What will A represent at the end of the execution? Okay. Okay. So we are executing this on the shopping bills data set, and what will A represent here? So D is now first an empty dictionary.
Yes.
So while table 1 has more rows, read the first row X. If not is key, so is this like what kind of question? Like correcting the statement or what? What kind of question is this? Like we have to correct the statement or what?
No,
What
ma'am. This
does
is
he
the
have
four
to say?
options, ma'am.
Okay, what it is trying to do, right? At the end. Okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
if not is key, D of X shop name. So as of now, X shop name is what? Big Bazaar? So if this is not, that means as of now, first B is empty.
Yes.
So this will be returning true. Are you getting it? Why this is
Yes,
true?
ma'am.
Because this is not here.
Yes, ma'am.
Not here. Okay. Is key D of X name, that is false. So not means this is true. So first we'll execute this. That is, this will be updated now. What this is updating to?
Big Bazaar.
This is again an empty list.
Ma'am, I didn't get, ma'am. Why it is true? Where it is mentioned, it is not initialized as false, no. If not,
See,
is key.
the first statement, we are initializing the dictionary. This is
Okay.
empty.
Yeah.
So we are reading the first row. Suppose this is the first card.
Okay.
If not, okay, forget this not. Tell me what will be the value of this part. Now you do not have anything in your dictionary. So do you
Empty.
have? It's empty. So this is
Yeah,
going
it
to
is
return what? False.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Got
this is
one.
not false meant what? It is true now.
True. Yeah.
So you will be coming to the statement.
Okay.
You have to execute this. What this is doing? This is creating a key value named Big Bazaar and initializing it with an empty dictionary. That is nested dictionary.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So line number 7, what it does? For each item in X dot item list. So this is the item list. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Correct.
Yes, ma'am.
Each of these will be an item. So
Yes,
now
ma'am.
for each item in X dot item list, that is suppose first one, broccoli is the first item. Then what this is doing? D of X dot shop name. X dot shop name is what? X dot, this is Big Bazaar
Big Bazaar.
now, first one.
Yeah.
And then the item, what is this?
Broccoli.
This is equal to true.
Okay.
Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now go back. What this is doing? For each item, this is creating something called as true.
Ma'am, what is the use of line 8, ma'am?
Just give me a minute. So what this will keep doing? This will create something like this true for each item. Vasa fish, true. True. X, true. Correct?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
now this entire loop, this will do what? All the bazaar, like this is Big Bazaar. If you have some other stores also, this will be the store name 1 and store name 2, and you will have some item list like this. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, someone was asking question line number 8. What is your doubt?
Now, ma'am, clear, ma'am.
Clear, right? Okay. So now we are asked to find what will A represent. So first A is 0. Now for each A in keys of dict, keys of D is what? Is it bazaar, Big Bazaar or broccoli? Which one?
Ma'am, bazaar, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Big
B
Bazaar.
means it will be Big Bazaar.
First, it should be Big Bazaar.
Yes, ma'am.
Then for each means first A is equal to Big Bazaar. For example, in the first case. Then if A is less than, okay, can anyone tell me what is this length of keys? D of A is what?
Then
The items,
value.
list of
D,
items.
see, first tell me
value.
what is this? D of A is what? This
Well,
part?
in a
Yes.
name.
Broccoli means this part like broccoli, chicken legs, fish, lettuce, and eggs.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Keys will point out the key names.
Yes. ma'am.
Keys. And what is length of that? Means the number of items that are present here. Broccoli
Yes.
is 1. This is 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yes.
Okay, so A is now 5. Correct? Initially A was 0. Now A is 5.
Okay.
Okay, so this will go back and you will check for the other shops. What are the other shops present? Big Bazaar, SV stores, and one more was there, right?
Sun General.
Huh?
Sun General.
Sun General. Okay. For these three, this is going to check, I mean, the same thing. So what is this actually doing, this part? This is checking.
There's item in a particular shop.
This is storing the number of items, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So now items or unique items, you have an option.
Ma'am, only ma'am, option is unique item.
Okay, just wait. The options are also interesting to discuss, so let me just bring that. So now you have understood, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So now tell me, which option will be correct? Maximum number of items sold by a shop. So
Yes, ma'am.
categories, we are not counting categories. We are not doing anything. What happened?
Whether there's a confusion whether it's the first one or the second one.
See, categories, we are not doing anything with categories. So option C and D are straight away out. Now, what remains is option number A and option number B. So in dictionary, can you have duplicate values in keys? Items
No.
for what? Keys. Items are actually key values in the dictionary. So can you have duplicate values in key?
No,
No.
ma'am.
No. So what this will even actually give you? The unique items?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Clear now?
Clear, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, I am
Yes.
last question number 3, ma'am.
Question number 3. In the same practice
Yes,
assignment?
Yes, ma'am.
How was your quiz one?
It's good.
Great.
And they scored 45 marks.
92.
Very good. Great. Anyone with 100? The paper was for 50 marks or 100? 50 marks, right?
Percentage.
Okay. So consider the dictionary D created in the previous question. What will item list store at the end of the execution? Yes, this is in continuation to the second question. Okay. So here, what did we create? Here, the dictionary that we created was, first it was storing the key name with the shop names and the corresponding values by dictionary. And what was this? The item list. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So keep this in mind, Big Bazaar. And this is suppose chicken legs, true. Fish, true. Sun general. So this, I think. Then we have SV stores. Okay. So this is the dictionary D. What will item list is here is an empty list. Okay. Note this is a list, not a dictionary. empty as of now. For L is equal to what? The keys of D. So L is a list that stores what? The keys of the dims.
Okay.
Sun general. Clear? For each A in list L, that means we are traversing through each one of this. Correct?
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now M is equal to keys of D of A. Keys of D of A is what?
Ma'am, items.
Each of the food items in the food shop.
Getting it?
The D of A represents the items. Right?
M will represent what? M
Each of
list
the
will contain this one, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
L, and then L is updated to rest of L. That means L becomes
BF.
this part now.
Yes,
Clear?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So now every B in L. That means this is B now. N is equal to keys of D of B. What is N?
CL.
The keys in Sun General, sorry, SV or Sun General. Confusion. Getting it? This part will be your N now. Clear? Please
Yes.
stop wherever you have any doubt or difficulty in understanding. So till this we have done. So now next is for I in M. So now we'll iterate through this part. This is a list, okay. So now this is I, CL. For J in N, this is J. Okay. Now we are doing nested loop in this, okay.
Yes.
M and N, okay. If I equals to J, correct here?
Yes.
What you're doing, item list is equal to item list plus means you're appending I with item list. That is what
Yes.
item list will be storing?
CL.
The shop name, which is similar in both, that is same in both M and N.
Will store the item which is same in both the shops. Right?
Yes, item. Here, whatever we are storing in M and N, that those are what items, right?
Yeah.
So this will be storing the items which are same in the
Okay.
in the
No, the
dictionary.
shops.
So what are the options? List of items which are common to all shops. List of items which are common to 2 shops, which are common to more than 2 shops, and which are common to at least 2 shops. So what should be the answer?
At least 2 shops.
At least 2 shops.
Why
Because
should be at least 2 shops? The second half of the
Because
See.
line number 10.
see, this is in loop, right? This is in loop, right? Everywhere you're in loop. We have considered the first cases for analysis. So as of now only we have got the similarity between 2 shops. Now next when you move to this part, in the third iteration when you move to Sun General, you will again compare Sun General and Big Bazaar, right?
Yes.
Got it now? In the first case, we compared with these two. In the second part, we'll move ahead to this. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other doubt?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
Others, any doubt? Anyone else has any doubt in dictionaries? Or list also you can ask from week 5 and 6.
Am I audible, ma'am? Excuse me, ma'am. Am I audible
Yes,
to you?
yes, you're audible.
Sorry, I joined late because joining from other country. Sorry for that. Ma'am, I just wanted to ask you the question before this. I don't have to, I just have to understand few things. Can you move to scroll up to question number 2?
Okay, here.
Yes, ma'am. I need to understand few things.
Yes.
In this case, line number 5, at line number 5 and at line number 4. Now, firstly, at line number 4, I just want to understand how this is working. D, should I be reading it in this way that, okay, D is some dictionary and X is a shop name within that dictionary that we have to look for. And of course, not is appended before this. So I understand.
Not means in the first case, see, dictionary D is initially empty, right? So first you have to create the keys and insert some values to it. So 4 and 5, the goal is to create the key name and initialize them with empty dictionaries.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I got that. At line number 5, D shop name of within the dictionary is equals to another dictionary. So
Empty
is
dictionary,
it? Yes, empty dictionary. So is this curly braces shows that we have to create a dictionary within the dictionary instead of this curly braces has the name been given some name, let it be A, then I should have given the shop name, let the shop name be BB and then colon, and then
see, if this would have been 5 instead of this, if this would have been 5, then I would have done this as 5. Is this clear?
Yes, but the curly braces must not happen there in that case, right?
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. And the other one is like when I'm reiterating, then will it overwrite the so
it will not override. This is iterating through the keys, right?
No. It's a different one. It's from practice assignment, ma'am. Question number, perhaps it is about the author list one.
This author list.
There is another one.
Question number 5 or what?
Perhaps you have to scroll down a little bit.
Are you able to see this?
Number 5, ma'am.
Yes, I can see your screen, ma'am. It's not this question, it's a different question, please.
Can you tell me the question number so that I can copy that?
Perhaps it's question number 5.
5.
It's author list one. Yes.
Not responding. Just 1 minute. Question number 2, 3. Discuss. Okay.
Okay. In this question, what I did is basically I have created an artificial library where I have taken 4 names, A, B, C, D, given the.
These are the author names?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And corresponding to these author name, I have given the year 1993, 2007.
Wait. Is this a list or what? Or just one value? One value, I think.
Yes, one value for corresponding to author A.
What is the first value you want me to write here?
1993. You can take any value, ma'am, that will work. 2007. 1990. And C is 2022. D is, sorry.
Okay. So D was
Now,
initially empty.
I
Just
have
this
created
okay.
one dictionary that is done at line number 9 and 10.
Okay,
Is
just
that
let
correct,
me
ma'am? Yeah, please.
one
Sorry,
minute.
sorry.
Read the first row X. If it is the key, D of author, like these should be the key names, correct? If D of author is greater than, okay, the current value, if it is greater than the year of publication, then you're updating it. That is against the latest publication of the author is recorded here. If I'm not wrong, this part
is it the latest? I think
latest
it's
part.
not late. I think it's not latest, ma'am. It's the like his first very first what do you call
okay, this
authorship.
no, see. If I have author A, he has a publication in 1884. Somewhere down the data set, it is 1993. Then you're going to get this as the final one.
Okay, fine. Okay, ma'am. Let's assume that this is correct, but in that case, if we reiterate through the second time.
No. See what this is doing. Okay,
yes,
let us assume that first the dictionary was empty and we did not have anything. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So in that case, we have to come to the else part, and whatever we are doing, suppose this is the result that we have obtained after inserting A, B, C, D. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now please check with the data set. Okay. And check if is key D of author. So A is already a key that has been created.
Yes, ma'am.
Now check that if D of author A means the value that is against the key A. What is the value here?
1993.
X dot year. No, in the data set it is 1884.
Okay, okay, fine.
As per the data set, it is 1884.
Okay, ma'am.
And what is the value that you have here? 1993.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is what? This is false.
1993 is greater than 1884.
It is
correct.
true. It's true.
It is true. Yes.
So what you're doing?
It will store
X dot
1992.
author. So this is going to store 1884.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is what? The oldest publication year?
Yes, this is right.
The oldest publication year, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So any other doubt?
No, I was just coming to this that when this line 6 will what this line 6 is what basically
this actually line number 5 will check that whether the year of publication is like older or latest. So you are actually supposed to store the oldest one or the latest one as per the condition. If you have some value which is greater than X dot year, then update it to X dot year. Means you're storing the old values, oldest values. Means maybe the first publication date.
Can I just ma'am, can I try to create the dictionary in front of you while moving through the loop so that you can correct me where I'm wrong or something?
Okay.
Although I answered it correctly, but I just want to understand few things. Perhaps I'm not very clear with those things. So, ma'am, what I have done is
okay. Let me. Okay, wait. We'll create your one.
Ma'am, greatest means oldest one.
Oldest means the first publication. I mean, are you getting the first one?
Okay, if 1990 and 1994. So 1990 is the oldest one.
The oldest one. Okay. See here, this is changing to 1884. Okay, first, if this was there, I mean the first year, for example, B, this should be stored 2004 because we have 2007 and 2004, and this one has to be chosen. Okay. The lesser one.
Yes, ma'am. In that case, I should be assuming that the we are choosing the first authorship of the author.
Yes, first publication.
Yes. And okay, so but I want to loop through this.
Okay,
code.
just give me 1 second. Let me bring an instance from the dataset. It will be easier. Just give me 1 second. The library dataset, right? So we'll get something from there. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, although there are 8 attributes, we'll just take 2 or 3 for our discussion. Okay.
Yeah, that will work, ma'am.
So suppose I have this as author A, B, C. Here I have again A, this is D, this is C, this is C. Okay. Okay. Yes.
Shall I?
Yes, now you can do.
Okay. So firstly, I'll create an empty dictionary, D by the name D. And I'll start moving through each row. Now, the first row is A and 2019. This is what listed in first row. So if
first you have to insert it through the else part. Okay,
yes,
because A's
right.
key will return you false. So in the else part, you're going to do is D of A.
Correct. And corresponding to that D of A, I will be given the year corresponding to A, that is 2019. And we'll go back to line number 4. No, sorry, line number 3. Line number 3. And we'll put this A to another, like another place.
No,
called
no, not. Yeah, move X to another table too.
Yes, ma'am.
So now this X does not exist in your table anymore.
Yes, and now the B will be the first card.
Correct.
We'll go into that and we'll check whether this B exists in the dictionary or not. And the author name is there or not. So the answer is no. Again, so the answer is false.
False. So you will come back to else part.
Yes, we'll create the list and again, and the same will happen through C and the same thing with everyone. So just keep it till C so that we can understand. I just wanted to understand.
Now this is no more in the table and I am in line number 3. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Now, now assuming that the rest of the 4 are not there in the data set, we are just considering these 3 only. Okay, so now at line number 3, read the first row's X in table, which is not there. At line number 3,
right? A is there, right? Now we are currently in line number 3 and this is pointing to A.
Yes, ma'am. A, correct. In this dictionary, A is there and the author name that is A is there and within that dictionary, which is true.
True. So we'll traverse to this part. That is, we'll enter inside the loop. If condition.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. And corresponding to this author, the year, what we have corresponding to this author, A, the year is 2019.
This is 2001. X dot year is 2001. Okay.
Ma'am, like, can we ignore the rest of the 4 part? Let's assume we just have 3 the books in the library only.
Fine, I don't have issue. See, this is my X dot. This is my X now. Okay. This is X dot author and this is X dot year.
Yes, ma'am.
So now x dot year is 2001 here.
Now,
And
this is
what
not
is,
there in the list, ma'am.
which one is not there in the list?
After this A, from row
See,
number
see,
5.
question number 5, how are you analyzing that?
Yeah, line number 5, I'm just analyzing is, you're asking about line number 5. Am I right, ma'am?
Yes. A is
Okay.
already a member, so this is true. So
Yes.
now you're checking if x d of x dot author is what? This is actually the value that you're having here.
Yes, ma'am.
D of A is 2019.
Yes, that's
So
right,
you're
ma'am.
checking if 2019 is greater than x dot year. X dot year, x is pointing to this row now.
Ma'am, again, I'm repeating, please, just for the sake of not, like, I get confused in that. Can we ignore that after row number 4? Can we ignore everything, including 4 and after 4? Just let's
No
consider
problem.
the first 3 rows only.
Only these 3.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So after inserting the third, that is the value of C, that is 2000. I'll go back to line number 3 and we'll check. Now, after inserting all these 3 have been moved to 2, that is table 2, but these are all been listed in this. So now going through the dictionary list at line number 3, we'll check whether the dictionary and the author is there in the list in the dictionary or not. So we'll check and we'll see that yes, A is there. Then the corresponding value of A, that is the first row, is 2019. So 2019 is greater than X dot year. Which year is it going to consider?
See, if you do not, after moving the C, if you're moving the C to table 2 and if you do not have these rows, then why will you come to this part again? This will be, has 1 or more rows. This does not have any more row, na?
Right, ma'am.
Check properly. You told me to delete everything after 4. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So once you have created this C in the else part, you have gone here, you have checked whether table has 1 or more rows. This is false, right? You don't have any more rows. It's over.
Okay, fine. So then how is it going to check the if condition like greater than X dot year? How is it going to check?
If you have only these 3, then it is over. Our task is done. You're coming out, right?
Okay, so you mean to say if there have been duplicate, then only this makes
Duplicate
sense.
values, then you're executing it. Okay.
Ma'am, could you please explain this question again because God.
Ma'am, I have doubt, ma'am. Please take, ma'am, whole values, ma'am. Do not delete, ma'am. Then, ma'am, tell, ma'am, whole explanation.
Ma'am, you continue from the 4th line onwards. If it is 2001, okay.
So this is 4th line. Okay. So once we have till line number 3, we have created this till row 3. Okay. And now these are no more in the data set. We have moved them to table 2.
Okay, understand.
Now when you come here, read the top row, that is A. Okay. So now check if is key D of means if A is a key of D, true?
Yeah.
So jump in. What is this doing? If D of author A means if D of A is what? 2019?
Yeah, correct.
So this is 2019 greater than X dot year. X is what? This row.
Yeah.
Dot year means 2001.
Correct.
True.
Yeah.
Come into this.
True.
So come into this.
The
What
year
is this
is
doing? This is
2000.
updating the value with 2001.
2000. Okay.
A, B, C, and all are author names. Right?
So
Yes.
Because I just
the author
joined,
name-
ma'am. I'm asking.
Yes.
So it is output is the oldest work of the author. Means
Oldest work. Yes. The first work when means the oldest one. Correct.
And
The
if
first publication.
And if I keep the first 3 rows only, in that case, I won't be able to conclude this, right, ma'am?
No, you cannot conclude.
Right.
Ma'am?
Yes.
Just one out. Else, if suppose the year of publishing is greater than the D of expert author. What do we do in else part? Okay, just join.
Else part is not there, no? Here. You will keep it as it is without updating. In the if part, you are updating it. In the else part, just ignore it. If this is not true, then ignore it. See, for example.
What about the line 9?
See. D or which example? We don't have a proper example.
Line 9 when the author name is not a part of the dictionary.
Initially, the dictionary D is empty, right?
Okay, ma'am.
So line number 4 will give you false for the first time because you do not have anything. So in that case,
line
line
9 is
number
only
9
for the first iteration.
For entering like this. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Any other doubts in this question?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the problem?
Ma'am, but 2019 book is the latest book, ma'am. But answer is the first book.
No, I'm changing it. Na? See, 2019 was first day. That's why I wrote it 2019. When I come across this, I'm updating this to 2001, right?
Ma'am, your answer according to you, the last book is 2019.
No. See,
No.
First
She
book I
said
have
this.
initialized.
She already said it that the option will be the first book the author has published. So that is the oldest one.
Okay, ma'am. According to you, ma'am, you do not take a year sequence. That's why the problem, ma'am.
Which one? No, I was executing this line by line. Na? That's why I initialized it with the first row 2019. Then later on, when I came across this row, I am changing it to 2001. Getting it?
Yes, ma'am. I am confused because, ma'am, I thought, ma'am, 2001 and after we can get the 2019. So, ma'am, 2019.
No. This will be overwritten, right? 2019 will be overwritten by 2001. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Any other doubts?
Ma'am, question number 9, ma'am.
Same practice assignment?
Yes, ma'am.
Just 1 minute. Question number 9. There's no 9th question here. 8 is the last question. Tell me the activity name.
Ma'am, practice assignment B7, question number 9.
I don't see question number 9 in practice 7. Like I'm getting like question 8 is the last one.
No, ma'am. There is a 10 question, ma'am.
Practice assignment 7 or 6?
Ma'am, 7.
I can see only 8 questions in my portal.
Ma'am, can I show my screen?
Yeah, please try. Please try. I'll take a snapshot of it and then I'll present it. Okay. Just show the question like, okay. Just 1 minute.
Can you see, ma'am?
Yeah. I can see just 1 minute. Okay. Just give me 1 minute. I'll copy down the options as well. Yeah, could you show me the options also? Okay. What will be the value of word count at the end? Okay, you can stop presenting now. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am.
Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Now the given pseudocode is executed using a data set having the same fields as words data set and contains the following words. Okay, we'll try to create the data set here. Data set words data set. So in words data set, we have serial number, word, part of speech, and letter count. So serial number will not be something serious. Word, part of speech, and letter count. Okay, so the first word is she. This is a pronoun. Letter count is 3. Else. Please help me filling this.
Okay, ma'am.
What is the letter count?
9.
By is what?
The verb.
By. To the determinant. What does the taken as?
An article.
Be sure. What is she sure?
No.
Noun.
8.
Word count is 8.
In the remaining are just repeated shells. So do we have to given if they are repeated, ma'am? Let's see.
Okay, let's see if this does not suffice, then we'll add on. Okay. So initially word count is set to 0, a variable. What will be the value of word count? Okay, what will be this value at the end of the execution they are asking? So while table 1 has more rows, read the first row X. If get something, okay, we have to analyze this one first. Procedure get something. So what is this doing? This is accepting X, right? The first row this is getting. So here I is equal to 1 and letters is what? Is an empty dictionary.
Yes.
And C is a character, single character. So while I is less than or equal to Y dot letter count. So Y is what? This is Y.
Ma'am, C is a character, ma'am. Tell me some example, ma'am. Character, ma'am.
Which one?
Ma'am, C is a ma'am character. Can you tell me one value as an example?
For X or Y? Okay, C, character. Okay, A is a character, B is a character. Capital B, small b, these are characters. Okay.
Okay.
So this is Y. Now I is initialized to 1, while this is less than or equal to letter count, means letter count is 3. So I can take values from 1 to 3. Now C is equal to ith letter of the word y dot word, means what? As of now C is what? Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
If C is a vowel, is this a vowel? No. If this is not a vowel, then just skip that and increment I by 1. Now I becomes 1 to 2. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Go back. Go back. While I is less than or equal to 3, 2 is less than equal to 3, true. Come down to this. C is the ith word, that is now H.
Ma'am, here is my doubt, ma'am. In line number 14, it says C is the vowel, then, ma'am, let the count equal to 2, ma'am, or else.
See, when C is a vowel, if this is a vowel, then you will execute this one. Otherwise, this will be executed anytime.
Okay, ma'am.
This is not a part of the if statement, right? After if the condition is true, then you will go inside. If it is false, then execute from the next statement after the bracket. This will be executed. This will be executed irrespective of the truth value of the if condition. Okay. So now for H also we are going to ignore because H is not a vowel. Now increment I. 3. So now 3 is less than equal to 3. True. Come here. Now what is C? It is E.
E is a vowel.
Now E is what? It is a vowel. So come here. What is doing? Letters. In the letters data set, this is creating a key with the name C, that is with E.
Okay.
Correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
So like that, this will create what? This will actually create dictionary keys as the vowel names.
Yes, ma'am.
And initialize them with true. But in the return value, what is this going to give? This is going to give the length of the keys of letters. Okay. This is letters as a dictionary. So what this is doing? This is returning keys of letters means what? E.
The vowels.
Vowels, and length is what?
1.
The number of vowels. That is, sometime we may get E and I, or sometime we may get only E, or sometime I, O, etc. Got it? For each of the word, we are checking the different vowels that are present. So for she, it is E. For cells, that is E. For C cells, what are we going to get? E and A.
Yes, ma'am.
For B, nothing. For this E, this is E, A, and O. Correct?
Yes,
You
ma'am.
get, so the return value will be a single integer. Are you getting it?
Ma'am, I have doubt.
In this
Which
case, the return
statement?
value,
Ma'am, if ma'am first complete C, then second row, ma'am, cells, then ma'am, if C, ma'am, then E, ma'am, how to increment value of E, ma'am?
Where is E? You're not incrementing, just setting this to true. Okay.
Ma'am,
So just
again,
checking how many different vowels are there. With different vowels, you're creating different key names. But you're not keeping a count of how many times each vowel is repeated.
Ma'am, so we can have E multiple times, right? So
Yes,
E.
you can have multiple times, but that is not checked.
Okay.
One time if you see, you initialize it to true. Next time if you see, it is true only. Okay.
So we don't have to
And
repeat it.
Ma'am, in this sentence, we have E, A, I, O, all 5 are there. So the length will be 5, no?
Where?
She E is there. Cells also E is there. Seashore E, A is there. Shore means O is there. Then if I is there, sure U is there. So all 5 vowels are there in this sentence, inverted comma. She sells sea shells by the seashore. The shells she sells are seashells, I'm sure. That is a
Yeah,
sentence.
just wait. Have you understood till now?
Yeah,
No,
I
ma'am.
got.
Okay,
Yes.
so let me proceed.
I'm not
Okay.
getting the ma'am answer. Ma'am, can you execute ma'am 1 to end line, ma'am?
1, 2.
Ma'am, suppose ma'am you take only C, ma'am. Please execute for cells and C cells, ma'am. So I am not confused.
Have you understood this part for letters dictionary? For each word, we are creating a dictionary, and here whatever the vowels we are getting, we are storing this as true.
Yes, ma'am. Here I am got off.
Correct, right? Now wait, let me initialize this return statement. So keys of letters is what here? Here you have only E will be returned, right? So what
Yes.
is length of E is just 1.
Yes.
So here get something of X, that means get something for she is just 1. Now you're checking if that is greater than equal to 2 or not. So what is this statement doing? This is checking if there are at least 2 vowels that are present in your word or not. Correct?
Yes.
At least 2 vowels in the
How do we
words or
know?
not.
How do we find that?
In get something, okay, you tell me what have you understood by get something. What is get something returning?
The length of the
Keys, right? Length of the keys.
So if there are 5 vowels, 5 key, 5. Or 4 vowels are there, 4.
So it is returning the vowels that are present, right?
Yes.
In a word. So you have got the number of vowels that are present?
Yes.
Number of unique vowels, I should say. Okay.
Yes, unique.
Unique vowels. That means EE might be there. For example, if I tell, what should I tell? Where there are 2. Tele, TELE. Okay. For example, if there is a word like this, in this case also you will be getting only 1 unique vowel only. Okay. But if this is telescope, then this will be 2, E and O. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Just 1 second. Yes. So have you understood now get something?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is returning the unique vowels. So what are you checking now? You're checking at least if there are 2 unique vowels present in the word, then you are counting, you're incrementing word count. So what is word count keeping track of? It is actually counting the number of words that are present in the statement given if they have at least 2 unique vowels. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So check. In case of she, this is 1. So this will not be counted. Here also it is E only 1. Here we have E and A. So this is going to be 2. Let me know if you have doubts and you're not getting anything.
No, ma'am, I am getting it.
This is 1. U and E 2. So what are the words that you're getting? she sells, seashore, are, seashells, and sure. Got it? Why it is 5?
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubts here? I don't have a doubt in this one. I just have a different doubt, but I can ask this on this only. Ma'am, if in line number 14, if there is a if clause, if condition, in line number 15, let's assume there is a if, I have faced this, so that's why I'm asking you. In
Line number 14 is fine for you.
Yes, no, I have yes, ma'am, completely fine.
So now in 15, you want something else.
Yes, ma'am. Let's assume in line number 15, we have another if clause within line number 14. That is conditional is nested, like 2 conditions are there. And at line number 17, instead of I, let's assume we have a else condition. Right. Okay, ma'am, if line number 14 is true, I go inside line number 15 because line number 15 is nested condition with 14. And if 15 is false, then will I be going to the line number 17, that is the else condition, because else
That
is
will
aligned
be
with line
that
number 14.
that will be determined with the closing braces of this if condition.
Yes,
If
ma'am.
this is
I was
closed
coming
here
to
only, if this is closed here only, then okay. Your question is a general doubt, I see. So let me take up this.
No, I have seen this. Yeah, please write it down.
Okay, this is suppose label 1. Okay. Here you have another question.
Right, ma'am.
Now,
no, else is in align with the if, the first if.
then go with the alignment. In CT, we usually take with alignments. Okay. If you consider any particular programming language, then we'll consider it different. Otherwise, this will be as per the alignment only. So here, if this is true, yes, now you can tell me. Okay,
Now, first line is true.
This is
I
true.
go inside
Then
I go inside the second line, and this is false. Then will I be executing line number 4?
You come down to line number 7 if something is there. This will not be there. If this is an alignment, then if you're traversing through this, once you enter into the curly braces, you're not supposed to execute this anymore, irrespective of the statement. Okay.
Right, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
612. Any other doubts?
Yes, ma'am.
Which question?
Ma'am, question number 7. Ma'am, please take a proper example, ma'am.
For which question?
Question number 7.
7. Question number 7. Physics mark. What is this? Is using the scores data set. What will scores data set question, right? Are you talking about the scores database question?
Yes, ma'am.
The following pseudocode is executed using scores dataset. What will this represent?
Ma'am, can you increase your some voice, ma'am? It is very low, ma'am.
My voice?
Yes, ma'am.
No, I was talking to self. That's why it's low. I'm taking the first 10 rows from the dataset. Let's try with that. Okay. So what will city be? Okay, this is the dictionary. K represent at the end of the execution. Okay. So city D is an empty dictionary.
Yes,
While
ma'am.
table 1 has more rows, the first row if is key city D X dot town. So with the town name, we are trying to create a dictionary. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
So it is false for the first part. This is false. So coming to the else, if this is there, then we are to keep again gender. Okay, so this will be a road. And again means this is gender is what? Male. I'm directly writing this. Let me know if you have not understood. Okay. Did you understand for the first row? Why did I do this?
Yes, ma'am.
So similarly, you will be doing for the others also. Correct.
No, ma'am. Here is my doubt, ma'am. How, ma'am, m equal to 64?
Where m is equal to 64. See what you're doing here. First, for the first one, this was empty, right? So you'll come to the else part. So this is city town is what? A road.
Okay, ma'am. Understand.
And then x dot gender is what? Male. So create a key name with value male and assign that with x dot physics. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
So now we have filled up. Then what we are doing? If is key. If is key city of town x dot gender. Okay, if this is there, then if x dot city town dot gender is less than x dot physics. So what are you trying to store here? You're trying to store the greatest marks or the least marks?
Least mark.
Greatest mark, I think.
Yes. So, ma'am, you explain, ma'am. I am unable to understand.
Okay, wait. For example, Chennai. Okay, this is Chennai male. This one. And another Chennai male. Do we have? Chennai female, better to take. Okay. For example, I have this with me now. Okay.
Yes.
Physics marks 53. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So next time when I come across another female from Chennai, that means this one. See, 3 and 5. Okay. As per 3, I have filled this up. Now, when I come to row number 5, see now, what is this? This is 53. Is 53 less than 92? True?
Yes, ma'am.
So physics marks will be updated to 92.
Yes.
So we are storing the highest marks secured by the female student and the male student from a particular city or town. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So what is in the option? What do we have in the options?
Ma'am, I see, ma'am. Ma'am,
A dictionary with gender as key mapped to physics marks. A dictionary with gender as key mapped to the highest physics marks according to that gender in the city. Highest or lowest, B or C? B, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Any other doubt?
No, ma'am.
Others, any doubt? If you do not have any doubt, then we can close the session.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Will we have any other session like this on Monday, ma'am?